The following program is rated TV MA LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
They gave me my theme music!
This is a Planet Fanatix production.
What up and what's going on, everyone? Appreciate everybody being here this evening with us. Earlier time, I stuck to it, told you guys we were going to make it happen, so start looking to see us, even though the schedule says 6:15. Understand that we are always going to be CPT. All right, we will always show up 6:30, 6:45. Okay, but we will be there. But so you can look at that schedule if you want, but just come around on that 6:30 time. We'll always be there. But appreciate everybody being here. We did stick to that earlier time. That's a new time that we're going to try to stick to when we do our streams here. So we'll get right into everything as always. Corey, how are you? How was your week since the last time that we've seen you?
Good. Chill. Creative.
You said creative?
Mm-hmm.
What's been creative?
A business plan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Trying to figure out how to do this thing solo. Esthetician-wise.
Well, that is definitely, like I said, that's the goal for 2024, to be able to be your own boss.
Yes.
For sure. Hugh, how have you been since the last time we saw?
I'm great.
That's great.
Finally got a new car. Finally don't have to fucking live broke, putting all my money aside to save for it. Can finally start saving for shit I actually want, and don't worry about getting places. You know, just that shit. Am I gonna make it here? Am I not? Like I sent y'all a video. I seen a nigga blew up on the side of the road today. It is just like, bro, I'm so fucking happy I don't worry about that no more. But other than that, dead ass same old Q, watching dogs, betting on sports. I will say, I went like a week straight hitting on all my sports bets. So shit, coming up. It's been a good little 2024 so far.
That's great. Again, that's what the goal is, to have it be a good 2024.
Mm-hmm. How are you?
I'm fine. Nothing to brag about. I'm fine.
I don't even ask this no more. It's like it seems disrespectful,
like
but
it's only right. Like
he's
asking us, so we
fine.
should ask him.
I'm gonna have a little something different to say. That shit from that nigga gonna be same thing. It's like y'all think I'm disrespectful for not asking, but I already know how the nigga day was.
Yeah, I do not like my. I do hate where I am.
Unless he hit me up with like some exciting or bad news, I know his day was just a day.
It was. Just to, I'm not happy with where I currently am working, but it's fine. Everything it pays the bills. It does what it needs to do. But other than that, yeah. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Not trying to say really too much of what I got going, because just kind of pop out like boom. But
right.
Yeah, I'm fine other than that. But we're going to get into what we got to talk about today.
Let's get into it.
Let's see. The first thing. How do I want to do this? Let's get this one. Let's do this first. First thing that we were talking about, and actually, I'm sorry, forgive me. Let me go ahead and jump in the chat and appreciate everybody that is here, the ones that are watching and the ones that are in the chat. I appreciate Groovy, appreciate you being here, to Jinx, Falcon, and Man 991. Yes, it has been a while. Appreciate you being here, JD75 and Xavier. Appreciate all of you guys being here this evening with us. So first thing we'll jump into is going to be Madam Webb. Madam Webb, last week, I think it was last week, let me show that first. Last week, I think we got this from them. Yeah, I think this is, this came out last week, and this was from the first one of the other first looks of the film here. And again, I hate to come on every time and sound like, I just don't care about anything, and it's just not true. I do care. I care a great deal about a lot of this stuff. Madam Webb is not in that a great deal of things I care about. If you go back, it wasn't my most anticipated
that's
at one
the thing.
point.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's the thing.
At one point
we
it was.
care about Madam Webb, but in this universe, cinematography-wise,
this still looks like a CW show.
like the
I
storyline,
was just
comic
about to say.
book-wise, and everything, like the plot,
It's giving CW right now.
this,
It
Yeah,
really
the
is.
whole the
it
plot.
just don't move me.
Yeah,
Like the trailer don't move me.
No. Did I watch the trailer?
I
think
haven't watched
You
the
did. I
trailer
mean,
yet.
since the first weekend it came out, when we reviewed it on here, and all
did
say
we?
it looks a little CW
Oh,
and shit.
okay.
Oh, is that the only trailer that's dropped since then?
I guess so.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either. I really
Well,
have
that's
not
something
paid
about
attention
it.
to Madam Webb at all. Like I said, I don't know if this universe and what's going on. I mean, from what we've heard it hasn't been anything in a minute, but all of this, I guess, still is supposed to intertwine with what's going on in the MCU. But I really don't.
Well, this
Don't
comes
know.
out in a month. Raymond
It
asked,
does.
when does it come out? So it's February 14th.
Valentine's
And so
Day.
it's a month away, and I don't know. Like I said earlier, this shit just don't move me. I mean, we heard they're making a movie and everything on the anticipated list. We were going through the comic and everything, and what they could do and how everything could connect, and it sucks because I feel like a lot of the time we end up looking stupid when we try to be optimistic and give out like what everything should be and what it should look like and what we hope for, because they end up doing the complete opposite, or just I know we're not on it right now, we might talk about it later, but even Echo, months ago came out, I said I'm going to give it a chance. I don't think it's going to be, I'm excited. Boy, do I look fucking stupid. Like, it's the same with this. It's like, you can be as excited as you want for the plot of Madam Web and what you think you know about the comic storyline, but I just
Is
fear
that what
that
we're
we're
gonna get?
not getting into that with this movie or anything. And I also fear that we haven't really seen anything that would connect it to anything that's gone on in the Sonyverse or the MCU. And so, as of right now, it just looks. I mean, months ago, whenever they first came out, they said they wanted it to be their Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness or whatever.
Right.
It's just, even when we heard that, we feared they're jumping the gun. It's like James Gunn starting not with Superman or some shit. Like we talked about that. It's just not the place to start if they're trying to build up a universe after the MCU brought Toby and Andrew in and shit. And so, I don't know. I just don't. My thing is I can't be optimistic for it because as of right now, I don't know what it connects to. I don't know what it leads to. I mean, the trailer we watched looked a little like we all call it CW. We look at these pictures and it's just like, okay. Like, I can't find a better term than the fact that it does not move me. Like,
You want to know the difference here with this Madam Web shit? We're not the target audience for Madam Web. And when I say that, obviously as Marvel fans, yes, we are, target audience as Marvel fans. But if you walked out of Echo and you were like, bravo Marvel, this is for you. If you walked out of She-Hulk and you were like, bravo Marvel, well, this is for you. You're that target audience. And that's not a bad thing. That's just they know what they have and they know who they can feed this bullshit to. And those people, again, that are saying that Echo and She-Hulk and all that, and your mileage may vary. If it's great, it's great. That's fine. But that's what this is for. This is not going to be a good movie. And the reason it's not going to be a good movie is I'm saying it now. So a month out, I'm saying it now. It's not going to be a good movie. It's not going to be a good movie. It's going to fall in the same ranks as Morbius and the rest of them. Because, quite frankly, I think fans are sick of doing this dance with
Or
Sony.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
it is.
I was about to say, I think everyone's just expecting.
Fans are sick of doing this
Spider-Man,
dance.
yeah.
It's this dance of we want to take Spider-Man's villains and this rogues gallery that he has and make them anti-heroes, but we want to exclude Spider-Man as much as possible. And when we do get any type of Spider something, it comes in the form of what we are about to see in Madam Web. It's the constant changing of things too. You got Kraven the activist coming out, and he's going to get bit by that lion, and that is going to explain why he's how he is. When you could have easily done Kraven's Last Hunt and would have sold out the ass for that. Spider-Man, but I digress on that. Then you've got, I don't even know what the fuck Venom's going to be about anymore. Unless, from what we heard, the last time we talked about it was going to be Toxin. Okay, not interested. I don't care. Do I like Toxin? Hoorah!
Right.
I don't care in this though. I'm done really with the Sony stuff. And just so you know, I still have not seen Morbius. So like that.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, I think at this point, my major question is where your guys is at. Like, where is Spider-Man? Like, even if it's not, Tom Holland. Like, we still have 2 other Spider-Mans that we can explore and play with.
But what's his name? What is that one guy's name? What is his name? Louis Esposito? No, God, I don't know. Whoever worked on Morbius, the producer, whoever was doing Morbius, I forgot who it was. He was doing that Q&A on Twitter. Remember when they were trying to connect the universe and how people had all these questions about Morbius? This is when we were getting teased and fooled about Morbius. This is when we all thought Spider-Man was going to still be in Morbius in some capacity. But he did that whole Q&A on Twitter. He said that he can't confirm or deny, but Sony was going to, at that time, I don't know if obviously things have changed since Morbius, but they were going to reveal their own Spider-Man. But yeah, like that's it. Where is Spider-Man? Where's Spider-Man? Why should we care about any of these Sony films?
Right.
That's it.
Pretty much.
With Spider-Man. Yeah. So, I don't even know.
I couldn't imagine how real, Spider-Man fans feel. I like Spider-Man, but I'm not, a fan or anything. But
See,
imagine that being your favorite superhero and just watching companies take that nigga villains and just, here's Kingpin over here, here's all them with Sony, here's what you get in the MCU.
And I think it's weird that they're, trying to make them
anti-heroes.
Heroes.
That's crazy.
What's our goal here? What's our overall? If that's the case,
honestly,
then what the fuck is this nigga gonna fight? I'm confused.
I stopped trying to crack it with Morbius because that's when Sony really pissed me off.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie. I watched it. It wasn't something that I was anticipating for when it was coming out, but
I really was until they flipped the switch the last 2 weeks.
Morbius?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And then,
everyone was excited. Niggas had Spider-Man poster, all the little mentions and everything. Yeah, no, we thought it was
excited.
thought it was a Spider-Man cameo packed film.
right. No, I mean, once I watched it, I was just like, are you trying to make this look like he's a good guy? Is it? I'm confused.
Yeah, it's just more Sony BS. But the Direct, I guess, more news about Madam Web. This is coming from the Direct. A new report indicated that Madam Web's runtime will break a new Sony Pictures record. Madam Web star Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney is set to hit the theaters on February 14th, marking the 4th film in Sony's Spider-Man universe, and Sony's Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man. And then it goes on to say, anchored by 2 Venom films starring Tom Hardy, with the 3rd on its way in 2024. The SSMU has presented mixed results from critics and moviegoers. The new female-led Madam Web film will look to draw fans in during Valentine's Day with a more MCU-esque runtime. According to the Norwegian ticket company website FilmWeb, Madam Web is set to have a 1 hour and 56-minute runtime. Marvel reveals best look at Sydney Sweeney's new Spider-Man costume, and the true Madam Web would become the longest Sony Spider-Man universe movie. Venom previously held the record in the in the alternate universe. And then it goes on to say Madam Web 1 hour and 56 minutes, Venom 1 hour and 52, Morbius, damn, people actually said an hour and 45 minutes to that shit, and then Let There Be Carnage was an hour and 37. In general, Sony Pictures does not want viewers to have to wait long for a story of their Spider-Man adjacent films to play out. While this is long for a modern Sony Marvel movie, it's still short for a modern day superhero flick. The average Marvel Studios movie, for example, is roughly 2 hours and 10 minutes. Fans should expect Kraven the Hunter's runtime to also fall under 2 hours. Film glimpses at Dakota Johnson's Marvel superhero suit for Madam Web are also revealed. Those came out, I'm sure. I don't know if people saw those on Twitter circulating. I don't know if anybody really cares also, though, because no one really no one's talked about it besides outlets.
No one is talking about this movie, though. No one is talking about this movie.
No one's talking about it.
No one's
I did see the pictures, but again, no one's talking about it. I don't care if the extended runtime is going to impact Madam Web. But Dakota Johnson did say earlier this week that she believes that fans are going to absolutely, and of course this is, promotion, all that stuff, absolutely fall in love and love Madam Web. I disagree. I don't think fans are going to fall in love with Madam Web. I actually don't think fans really are going to go see Madam Web.
And I think if they do, they're going to hate that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think the opposite. I know. I always come in here and sound like this evil-ass negative nigga, but I'm just tired of the lies, bro. I'm like, they're always coming out saying this is... It really started with Hawkeye. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it really did. For me, Falcon Winter Soldier.
See, I'm not gonna lie, because I still go back and watch a couple scenes from that.
There are
shit.
scenes from
like
that.
When Battlestar dies, I don't, rest in peace to me. I don't like watching no nigga die, but I still be going back and watching that shit.
I like the Dora scene.
Anytime I think of like advertisement and just how the MCU and Sony's going, I think back to Hawkeye when they said, "You don't want to miss this."
Oh yeah.
The biggest, and it's just, I feel like I'm hearing that every time now. From actors, directors, the advertisement, and so it's just like, and it'd be different if like, occasionally we come out of the theater like, you know what, damn, that shit was fucking.
But when's the last Marvel movie you came out and we've said
That's
that?
why I'm like, I hate to sound negative, but
right.
I mean, but
like, to even put that in that category is... Like, we all know. You know what I mean?
That's just not even a fucking MCU movie at this point.
I said that.
That shit was like a standalone Marvel film.
That really was. That was
like, at least the other two were connected to the plot in some points. Guardians 3? No. Unless you want to count what they did in the end, the next Guardians. But, we can watch that. We knew about that before you went in.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I don't
know. No, and, I remember I said after we left the theater, I said, it's not Bravo Marvel, it's Bravo James Gunn, because he did a great job on that film.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the last Marvel film, MCU film I did walk out of, and I was like clapping. What was before? What was after that? Have we had one after that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, we have the Marvels. Was that after? Yeah, the Marvels.
Oh, I thought you meant that we clapped for.
Oh no. Yeah. So anyway. But, as always, because the next topic kind of falls in line with this type of conversation, but as always, questions for you guys. Let us know down below what you guys are thinking. Are you going to go check out Madam Web on Valentine's Day? Is that a film that you care about? Do you not even care about the Sony universe? Do you care about Kraven? Do you care about Venom 3 or any of the others? Or are you still in line with what Sony's doing and like, hey, I'm here. I'm that target audience. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking.
Ant-Man said, when are we getting good superhero movies again?
Never. It's going to be a while.
Shit.
Deadpool. Oh, yes. The road to Deadpool.
And then never.
The road to Deadpool. Yes. What if Deadpool sucks?
Why would you even say that?
Because there is a possibility.
Why
There
would
is
you even put that
there
out
is a
there?
possibility that
I just feel
Deadpool
like
might
you
not
should
be what we want it to
that
be.
we
What if it
should just keep to the
disappoints?
chest and not put out
If
there.
Deadpool
Why would
disappoints,
you put
I
that
might not
on
be
Hugh
done. I'm
Jackman?
still
Why would
invested.
you
I
put
still
that
want to
on
see some
Ryan
shit, but
Reynolds? Like,
I would not
fucking dare you?
care about a lot of shit anymore. That's crazy.
How
Deadpool.
fucking
That's
dare
hey.
you?
I mean, it's a possibility.
Don't
It is a possibility.
blasphemy. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
I want it to be fantastic.
Do
I
that to me.
I
Don't.
do. And I still think it's going to be fantastic.
Raymond
But in Marvel's What
Raymond
Ifs.
said he don't think it's going to be as good as we're thinking.
Raymond, get the fuck out
Yeah,
of
but
here.
Raymond also thinks that Falcon and Winter Soldier is a masterpiece.
Yeah, that is true.
Coming back with it.
And it's
Fucking
most
crazy.
definitely not.
That shit does stink. Like,
Oh.
that shit is a fucking racist trope.
That show is ass. I like the Dora scene when they fight John in the hotel room.
That scene was fucking hilarious.
I like some scenes with Zemo, of course. I mean, but overall, Captain America got beat up by a teenager. It just was a terrible show. This wasn't a good show.
That shit really wasn't. Hungry said there's a slight chance that, or a slight possibility Deadpool being shit.
I mean, just
Y'all are the worst.
Nah, yeah, go ahead. Let me hear it. Like,
Y'all are some non.
what do y'all think about that? Is there a chance, like, at the fucking stage we're in that
Yoga
Deadpool...
for
But you know why we're
2024.
thinking that? Because if you months ago, like around that No Way Home time, around that WandaVision time, even if you would have said,
Nigga, 3 years?
yeah, if you would, well, yes, 3 years ago, it's been that, but they've been giving us 3 years of shit. So 3 years ago, when Marvel was in their heyday, this wouldn't have even been a conversation. But Marvel has put that doubt in our minds now, to where we're like, bruh. Even if it is a top billing character, what if this shit is ass? Because there's a possibility that the Fantastic Four is going to be ass. And that is a top billing. That's Marvel's first family, announced in 2019.
Yeah, I mean that one. I'm skeptical about that one.
I do agree, though. I think there's a chance that the plot, the storyline at least, the pacing and rushing everyone into the... I said this when we first talked about it.
That's true.
F4?
The rushing... Huh?
F4 or Deadpool?
Deadpool. Just, you gotta put everyone in the MCU and shit like that, and we know that when they usually do that with characters. Even right now with the Defenders, it's not making sense. With Daredevil, I mean, luckily it made sense because they got to throw him in a Spider-Man movie, but otherwise that wouldn't have made sense, I don't think, because they would have had to find some other way to do it. And so, I don't know, there is a possibility. I don't think, and the other side of it is just, it's Ryan Reynolds. I don't think Deadpool or anything is going to lack anything in that area or department, but
Right.
I don't know, it's like, I don't see anything failing from Ryan Reynolds or the actor side or Logan or anything like that, but it's just, like you said, Marvel's put that doubt there to where
That's what it is. That doubt.
you don't know what Ryan Reynolds can't, like what he can't do in the MCU now. You know, like
Right.
we know he had all the say whenever Deadpool was coming out, not under the MCU and everything, but there's a slight chance that they're not letting him have all the creative control and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, like I said, there's just that doubt now. That's all.
I come in here with so much hope and so much excitement. And by the end, I'm just like contemplating my whole life.
Can you see comments right now?
I can't.
I can, yeah.
I'm showing my fault.
Xavier Phoenix said, if Deadpool sucks, it's the beginning of the end. Official Liam, I honestly don't care about the MCU anymore after the way fans and the press treated the Marvels and Nia DaCosta. I'll still see the movie, but man, I hope it fails. LOL. I'm waiting for the guns DCU now.
Why that on the MCU though, Liam? Why would you hope the MCU fails because of negative perceptions that people personally had or personal feelings that people had toward the Marvels? I hate, and hate is, if I knew a stronger word than hate, I was trying to think of some. Detest just doesn't do it. Despise doesn't do it. Something has to be worse than hate. I hate for never. But that doesn't mean I don't want the MCU to fail.
Right.
You know?
No, I'm sitting here trying to think.
There's not. I'm trying to think of one.
A word.
Is there?
Like, not even discuss. Like, there's just...
Like baffles don't
The scum
baffles
between
don't
my
even
toes. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just...
like...
Nah, but the Jinx said the main thing that happened on Falcon and the Winter Soldier that had people talking was when John Walker killed that guy with the shield in a rage.
For real. That shit was intense. I'm not gonna lie. It low-key be flashback into my head every once in a while. Like,
Are we talking? Are we still talking Falcon Winter Soldier? That scene with the whole.
I think for me, I just wasn't expecting it because...
Bro, how did Cap's shield be staying on his back?
Does he put the choker thing around him? I don't know.
Like
Oh no,
he has,
I'm
like,
sure
a
his
strap.
arm couldn't fit.
He has like a strap.
I don't know. On my action figure, it just clips on.
Why?
So I'd imagine maybe it
What
clips.
do you mean a strap? Like, I know there's a strap, but how the fuck do it stay on his back? Like,
I don't know.
I'm genuinely asking, too.
I have no idea.
Like, some niggas said it was a magnet, but that's kind of dumb, because if you a villain fighting that nigga...
I have no idea.
You know, I just had to bring that up. Andre said, the Kang monkey screaming is still in my mind. Official EMG said, Marvel doesn't take care of their diverse talent, doesn't make sure their projects are astounding, and that they stick up for their diverse actors when attacked by fans. Good, they fail.
I'd say that's Hollywood, though. You know, Taraji P. Henson hasn't worked a day in her life in Marvel, and we have seen her go on a campaign talking about how black women and black actors and actresses in general are just downplayed. I mean, this is not something new. This is not a Marvel issue. This is a Hollywood issue. Marvel just happens to be one of the biggest companies right now, and the light is shed on Marvel. And this is not me defending Marvel, because I have my own gripes with Marvel. I'm just saying that this is a Hollywood issue more so than just a Marvel issue.
Mm-hmm. It's a society thing, really. Let's just be real.
I was gonna say, if we not supporting the things that treat people of color differently, then you got a lot of things to add to the list other than Marvel. Because I don't even think the shit for that was that bad. I think really, was it Variety? Who released that article about the...
I think it was the Hollywood Reporter. Is it Hollywood Reporter?
Whoever released that article really made it worse, if I'm being honest, because they put a lot of shit in there that wasn't true.
Are you talking about that one? The big one?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That people
one.
read and just thought,
Right.
oh, she left the movie, she doesn't give a fuck now. And just put a lot of negative energy into the air and just...
Yeah. I do
That's
agree with
really...
that.
Because if you want my opinion, no one was really talking about the fucking Marvels. And so there was really no room to hate on it other than Brie Larson. And that's... Anything I see hating on Brie Larson is just, okay, it's internet hate. I mean,
Yeah.
cool.
Right.
Shit, this shit is not real. But I don't know. Like that. So that's how I'm looking at it. Like, I don't really think shit was that big of a deal until that article got released type shit. Raymond said, now that I agree with they could have stuck up for Nia DaCosta more, I didn't hear Ryan say anything either. I absolutely believe the Taraji stuff, but I'm starting to think she's got something going on the inside that's adding on the pressure. She seems very heavy.
I said that to, not on any platforms or anything, but I thought that to myself as well. I thought, this is not the first time Taraji has been in, headlines talking about pay gaps and things like that. And, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. But to what the first thing he said about, sticking up for Nia DaCosta, they could have, but when have we... I don't know why. I guess my question is, why are we shocked that Marvel didn't stick up for somebody of color? give me an example where Marvel has stuck up for someone of color, where Marvel has stuck up, like if something has gone on or whatever, where Marvel has stepped in with their cape and said, no, I'm going to be Captain Save-A-Ho here, and that I've not seen, so I don't know where the shock is coming from that Marvel didn't stick up for Nia DaCosta. Marvel didn't stick up for Jonathan Majors. Marvel didn't stick up for Chadwick Boseman. Besides their fake whatever feelings and not recasting, Marvel didn't stick up for Terrence Howard when he asked for more money. Instead, they gave Don Cheadle 5 hours to make the decision to be War Machine for however long this contract is. Should I go on with more that Marvel didn't care about? Marvel didn't care enough to even let some of the black stories that the black producers and directors wanted to go on in Falcon and Winter Soldier, go watch those interviews on YouTube on your own, happen. They rewrote that shit. So why we start acting as if Marvel is this new big clan that's on the block?
Yeah, Marvel wouldn't fuck with Nia whenever she brought Storm to the table.
Yeah, when she wanted to do the Storm Cyclops buddy film, they were like, I mean, and maybe you know the argument, your rebuttal to that could be, well, they weren't ready for the X-Men yet. Okay, well, sure, whatever, but. I
mean, in a couple months they are.
Yeah, so it's like I don't.
I get it. The X-Men were in that fucking film. So right. That's not an argument.
I get it. I understand where the frustration's coming from, and I'm frustrated with you. But one thing that I can't do is act shocked to new thing or to something that's not new to me.
Going on, yeah.
Yeah, I can't. You know, I just can't. You know, that'd be like me. The sun came up. The sun comes up every motherfucking day.
Right.
So it just. I don't know. I don't get I get the rage, but the shock of Marvel not sticking up for Nia DaCosta, it's not new. That is Marvel. Should we continue? Where else we have? Who else we got there?
My fault. Just official MG. Continue what he says, and I know it's a Hollywood thing, but I feel I can support other projects that actually have great representation and great films and other franchises, especially with the fandom being toxic. I feel like in today's society, any internet fandom you get into, that if there's something negative going on, shit gonna be toxic. Mm-hmm. That's I'm willing to bet the second niggas don't like something going on in the DCU, I mean, I'm betting there's already a toxic DCU community out there. Like, shit. So, I don't know. It's like, no fans were really toxic until, like you said, three years ago when everything was going good. Nobody was toxic, so...
I just think
it's really just the fact that... Well, I was reading that shit. But, it's really just the fact that, like, nobody... I don't know. Nobody's going to sit here and be all positive while things are going bad. Like, things are going bad. We all know it. Of course, I mean, especially if you get to do it over the internet and say whatever the fuck you want, especially you're going to see some crazy things. Like, that's not like you get on here where we're going to say the honest shit. You're not going to get that everywhere where you get honest opinion, truth, this, that, or shit. It may not be the right thing, but it's at least like how, and it's not like super disrespectful. Shit, you go on Twitter where you're getting most of your information. Niggas be wishing death upon niggas on Twitter. Like, I don't be surprised the evil, toxic, disgusting ass shit I be seeing on Twitter. Like, do I chuckle at some of this sometimes? Yeah, but that shit do not be right.
Yeah, I mean,
and not that's just to say that's with any community. Not that shit you get in the NBA, NFL, MCU, right. DCU, fucking Star Wars, Hunger Games, anywhere. If it's not going good, even when it is going good, other fans who don't like that community will just hate for no reason. Right. Like, so, yeah, I don't know.
I was just going to say, like, I think no matter what, we're just in a time, I mean, I think it's always been like this, but where it's just more...
Everyone has a phone now.
More aware of that, like, you're just not going to be able to satisfy everyone anymore because everyone has an opinion. Everyone has a thought, and now it's easier to share that thought, whether it be internet or social media or even what we're doing now, you know what I mean? So I I feel like there are other ways to support other things if something else is not doing it, but to put it all on Marvel, no. Like, it's a Hollywood thing. It's a society thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are conversations talked about in everyday conversation. Like, why don't we support black women more in general? You know what I mean? Why don't we support black people in general? Like, in every conversation. So, I just feel like at the end of the day, it's just where we're at as a whole.
Yeah.
So.
But staying on that same topic of things going on, you know, Tatiana Maslany recently came out and said that she doesn't think that She-Hulk Season 2 is going to happen because the budget. She's like, Disney saw the budget for Season 1 and da-da-da-da-da-da, things like that.
The budget, girl.
When we're staying on that same topic of things just going on and not, you know, being happy with Marvel or being happy just in general with lots of things. I mean, it's not just Marvel, you know. It's there's other things as well. But I don't think the budget has anything to do with the reason that She-Hulk is obviously not going to get a Season 2. She-Hulk was absolute shit on the ground. It was awful. Until, you know, we had some horrible ones before She-Hulk, but I think She-Hulk really put into perspective that we can get worse. And then Echo really showed us, well, we got worse, and we can show you, maybe we can get worse. Yeah, so, you know, She-Hulk was really just that bottom of the barrel shit.
I mean, if I've said this before, I don't personally even...
I really don't even remember too much of it.
I don't even think the casting for She-Hulk was...
I like Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters.
I wasn't feeling her vibe for this role. I like her as an actress, but I just was not feeling her. Like, and I've said that multiple times. Like, this whole show felt ick to me.
Yeah, see, and I think with Tatiana as Jennifer, I think that also comes with some of the writing. Because I'll say this, I hate Thor in Love and Thunder. I love Thor in Infinity War and Ragnarok. The writing.
I hated Doctor Strange and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Saying Scooby-Doo shit and fucking... But I love that. So, you know, I mean, the writing. It has a lot to do with writing and shit
if
like
she
that.
Is going to be in Captain America 4 and it is going to have a more serious tone, then I'm sure we could expect more serious writing from her, because those writers for She-Hulk, none of them are fucking returning.
Yeah. No. I was going to say, I couldn't even name
No,
them.
I
forgot her name, too. I forget her name.
No.
The writing
Rick and Morty folks. I forget her name, though.
Yeah, the writing was, I mean, and it does come down to the writing. The writing was not, but yeah, the whole show was, it's not budget. It's because that show ain't shit. Period.
Kevin Feige, I was about to say, I'd really go to say Kevin Feige just didn't like that last episode.
No, that last episode was shit.
So.
I don't even think he liked this whole series, if we're being, but we've talked about that before too.
Yeah, no, but I'm sure there's been shit that Kevin Feige didn't like that's got another season. Shit, I'm sure that nigga didn't like every episode of What If. I'm sure he might not even like What If. I mean, I don't know. And so, it's like... it's just the simple fact of, man, what really... Nothing stood out about that shit to even give you a season 2. Where would you go for a season 2? You ended with that ugly-ass nigga Scar and Hulk.
And you know...
It's like season 2 would essentially have to be her being in either... I feel like her next step in the MCU is either, like you said, it's going to be Cap, but in my opinion, it should be Daredevil, but I don't know which comes out first, but the continuation of that story is really World War Hulk. It's like, I don't even know if I want that from what the fuck they've been doing. So, I don't know, there's really... Fuck a budget, fuck whether you like the first season or not. There's just no content for a season 2.
Yeah,
there's
I
not.
think it just goes back to like what we've always been saying, which is, you didn't build her up enough for us to care enough for her to like continue on. Like,
And then the storyline that you had in season 1, it was the intelligentsia. That just really went nowhere. Like nowhere.
That was the villain of the show?
That's what it was supposed to be, yeah. And then it turned out to be, was it not like that one dude that like tried to turn himself into a Hulk or something, but she rewrote the story?
Or something like that.
I don't. Yeah.
Did the story end up getting rewrote?
I
remember, didn't they rewind it or something in that episode where they like had the whole She-Hulk hate meeting in that barn? Where fucking, what's his name? Abomination was there.
Oh, yeah.
And he was in that white, with his fucking
God, I blocked that out of
Blonsky
my
voice.
brain.
Yeah, that shit was stupid.
Yeah.
It was fucking retarded.
That shit was bad.
Yeah, that show was awful. But Tatiana Maslany did say that, she didn't think that they're going to get a second season. And no, sweetheart, you're not. I don't believe you are either. But she's not done as She-Hulk. She did. She went on. This is coming from CBR. CBR said She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, has completed its first season with high ratings. That is a lie. That is a lie. It definitely did not complete its first season with high ratings. But anyway, and a strong positive response from critics. That is also a lie. I'm sorry. I'm getting She-Hulk mixed up with another terrible MCU show. That was Secret Invasion. That 5 of its 6 episodes were in the worst of Marvel's Rotten Tomatoes. Sorry, wrong, bad MCU show. But this was a bad one too. Then it goes on to say the show's openly comedic take on the Marvel Cinematic Universe was tempered by the very relatable traits and it's not trials. Trivials. The title character played by Tatiana Maslany. Maslany's Jennifer Walters was the very real heart of what could have been an overly self-affected series, and the actor delivered an outstanding performance to keep the show centered no matter what wild direction it took. I'll also disagree with that, and the reason I disagree with that is I like Tatiana Maslany but Tatiana's performance as Jennifer Walters didn't like hone me in or keep the show.
Didn't move me.
No.
Didn't move me, yeah.
No. But then again, writing always has a lot to do with it. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say usually I'll tell you when I don't like a nigga as a casting. Ezra Miller is the Flash. So
yeah.
I mean, I had no issue with her being She-Hulk or anything, but I mean, if you don't like,
where's her quote?
I don't know. The personality was accurate and everything, if you want me to be honest. It's just the situations they were put in, the fucking... That shit, Titania was in there. That's who... I forget about that.
Oh,
that
she
shit
was
really Duke. That shit was so bad. That shit
was in it.
So many... Oh my god, they missed so many jumpers.
Yeah, Titania was in it.
Good lord.
This part. It says Jennifer Walters
that
required...
shit was not my fault to cut you off, but that shit was 9 fucking episodes, and I couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell you.
What the fuck, when the fuck, who the fuck.
Yeah. Unlike so I barely remember it. But it says Jennifer Walters required a similar balance act to unify the two sides of herself, while Maslany emphasized that commonality far more than she did in Orphan Black. I didn't watch Orphan Black, so I can't relate to this. But she likewise never downplayed Jennifer's desperate emotional states. She-Hulk called upon her to be confident and yet sensitive, angry and yet in control, emotionally genuine and yet well aware of her status as a fictional construct. All of that had to fit into a single personality without disrupting any single facet. Furthermore, it needed to be consistent across both her normal form and her supernatural Hulk form, keeping the same soul regardless of the circumstances. Really, She-Hulk was just ultimately boring. But I want to get to this part here. It says Jennifer's status as a self-aware piece of fiction required plenty of genuine emotion in order to keep the series from descending into farce. It it let her pull stunts like her jaw-dropping visit to Kevin. Like, that really wasn't jaw-dropping. That was more like that's why I didn't edit that episode. That
more so eyebrow raising.
Yeah, eyebrow raising. That episode really was the episode that just really put She-Hulk in the shitter.
No, I'm telling you, like, this was the eyebrow raising. Like, I literally did this. If we go back, I could tell. I mean, I guess you didn't post, but if we went back and could screenshot how I probably did this.
Yeah, no, it was awful.
Like, oh,
it was awful. And it was just you and I that were here that watched that one. It was awful. Mick says, in Season 1, Episode 9, whose show is this? Without destroying the character in the process, the comics managed such scenes effortlessly, but they wouldn't happen on TV without an actor of Ms. Lonnie's caliber keeping them focused. As strong as her work was in Orphan Black, She-Hulk is very impressive follow-up. It's great news that Ms. Lonnie is already looking to reprise her role. Yeah, so no She-Hulk Season 2, shocker. She-Hulk is not out of the MCU. She is a B-list, character nonetheless, but she's not out of the MCU. She's, I'm sure, still on the roster for...
Was that Trey who said
the
that
new
they
Avengers.
need to stop with the TV shows?
Wait, say it again.
Was that Trey who said they need to stop with the TV shows in general?
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I agree,
Trey,
too.
if you're watching this right now, I agree.
I agree, too.
I don't think I did back then.
No, I didn't.
I think it was, I thought they just had to change the formula a little bit, go back, add some ingredients, take a couple out.
It's because, for me, WandaVision and Loki were just so damn good. I was like, if they can keep this up, and that was right after, that was off the heels of Endgame and things like that. So it's like, if they can keep that up.
And it's like, a lot of people say those shows were only good because of well-written, well-paced shows.
Yeah.
Like, even Season 2 of Loki wasn't, I don't think it was better than Season 1, but it was a lot better than everything we've been getting recently.
For sure.
And
it's something I can sit down and rewatch again.
It's just...
I don't know if I can rewatch it.
I was about to say,
I haven't. And please forgive me when I say this. I'm not saying Loki was bad. I really don't remember a lot of it. I know that...
I think... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine.
I think I would sit down and
time
watch it
skipping.
in the sense of just, like, now that I have, like, both seasons, to be able to, like, watch it together and be like, okay, let's see how this flows. Like,
yeah.
if this was a movie
I'd
instead
flow
of a show,
all the
like,
way
what would
until
this
Season
look
2, and I'd probably flow into a coma.
It's just like, I don't know. The TV show formula is not... If this is what they're playing with specials and Spotlight, whatever,
But
the
that's the
Spotlight
thing.
thing, even the special, they re-released that, and why?
Movies and TV
Like,
shows
why?
are just two completely
color.
different concepts, and there's been so many actors and actresses that have came out way before Marvel decided to do this and has made that very clear. And I think for me personally, who is a much more of a TV show watcher, I feel like it would be more complicated to try to do movies into TV shows when they're meant to be movies, especially with superheroes, because there's so many layers that you have to reveal, and if you don't have the right writers, the right timing, the right pace of it, it's hard to get people involved. It's not something you can just kind of shove together and throw out.
Yeah.
Because the whole concept of a TV show is for it to be rewatchable.
Shit, I agree.
But I would say they did that. I've rewatched WandaVision a couple times. I'd say they did that with some of those. Well, with those two. I don't know how everybody felt about WandaVision or Loki Season 1, but I watched Loki Season 1 a couple times too when like certain episodes after it initially dropped, because I was still very high.
I'm not gonna lie, after
shit.
just watching everything, I don't think, just my personal opinion, I don't think any of those, including WandaVision and Loki, I don't think any of those TV shows are good enough for me to rewatch.
Really?
I know good TV.
Oh gosh, no, I mean like that.
Like
no.
Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad.
Now,
But and that's
now
what
here's
I'm
the
saying.
thing.
It's like-
When I say rewatch, because
And I know what you mean by
yes,
I was going to say,
like,
you have to explain what you mean by rewatch
Right.
to them, because I know what you mean.
Yeah, when I say rewatch, it's not like I'm rewatching, like currently I'm rewatching Clone Wars. You know how many fucking times I've seen Clone Wars? But Clone Wars is fucking dope. I'm currently rewatching Clone Wars. That's not what I mean. I can rewatch Clone Wars like this month and then rewatch Clone Wars maybe like 2-3 months.
Yeah, and they got comfort shows.
Yeah. That's one of my, the Big Bang, that's one of my comfort shows. WandaVision, I have to be in a mood, like, to be like, damn, I want to hear some of those lines from, like,
and that's
like,
the thing.
that's
I can only go back on YouTube and just rewatch.
That's really
because the
it.
shows
It's certain
aren't
clips.
good enough for me to rewatch the whole episode. If
But
I
that's-
just
but
know
that's
what
my
scene I
point.
want to watch.
That's it.
my point. Like, yes, there are certain
That
levels of rewatchable, but for you to try to put superheroes, and maybe not just superheroes, but like you're known for movies, and then to try to dabble into TV shows where your main goal is you want it to be rewatchable. You want it to be, I want to just put on WandaVision in the background while I'm doing something, or I want to actually sit down and watch. You know what I mean? Like, a TV show shouldn't be something that you're in the mood for to sit down and watch, and it should be a comfort. It should be like you know what I mean? I feel like that's just my personal opinion. So
They just haven't built that, though.
yeah,
I mean,
and they just don't know how to do that. And I think for these type of characters, it's hard to do that because there's, again, so many layers that have to be revealed. And if you don't take the time, you don't have the writers, you don't have the directors for it, you're not sticking to a source material.
But I would even say, not to cut you off, I would even say that a TV show, though, because we need to move, but the TV show for them would be a better way to flesh out some of these characters, because in my opinion, I still think Eternals would have been a much better story told as a TV show. You got 10 motherfuckers that you're trying to introduce to a bunch of newbies that barely even know the MCU, and you're trying to introduce them in a span of how long is, what is that, like 2 hours something?
Max 2 hours 10 minutes.
But over a TV show, and when I say a TV show, not Marvel's version of a TV show where it's 6 episodes or 8 episodes or 9 episodes and that's it. I'm talking like what they're doing with Born Again,
Yeah.
where you're getting 18 episodes in one season.
And that's a traditional TV show.
That's their problem. It's not that the TV shows, it's not that they can't flesh these characters out during these TV shows. You can't flesh a character out in a 9-episode TV show. Just like I said, it never made sense to me how the fuck they were telling Secret Invasion in 6 episodes, where we were promised they were going to be an hour each. But even in that, so it just never. So it's like stuff like that. You can't tell these stories in 6 episodes. You didn't get us interested in Echo, which was, I thought, originally 6 episodes, originally 8 episodes. But you couldn't, it's just all of that. Like, you have to, it needs to, like you said, they need to flesh them out.
Shit
But
they did cut out. The
Right.
shit they left in.
That's what I'm telling you. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
You're not, there's a formula to TV. And if you're not going to stick to that formula, then, especially with these type of superheroes,
Yeah.
it's not something where it's like The Boys where you're just making it up like these are already established characters and you're trying to tell a story. I just feel like you just need to stick to the TV formula and you're not doing it, so it's not good.
Yep. Like I said, it's, I don't even know what the next, I never know until anymore. I don't know what's next, so what the next show or any of that shit is.
I don't care.
I'm not really interested.
But we'll again stay Marvel here. I'll save the last, since the last next 2 topics are still Marvel. I'll save it there. I just added this one because we were talking about this kind of stuff. But John Bernthal recently came out because talking about the Punisher, and the Punisher are going to be showing up here now that we're getting to some of that ground level stuff. And John Bernthal promises that his return is going to be done right, and that we are going to get the Punisher that we all want, the Punisher that he wants to deliver, that Netflix gritty ground, in-your-face Punisher. Do I believe that that's going to happen? Maybe. And the reason I say maybe is because of what Marvel just showed with their spotlight on Echo. Showing that, showing some of the more graphic scenes, the neck snapping and the scene that's not so much the car scene, but the scene with the with Kingpin and the dude in the alley. Some of those scenes like that. So maybe. And if he's saying that, he's, one of John Bernthal's things from the very beginning was, I don't want to come back and do this unless it's done the way it needs to be done and respected and things like that. But do we think that Marvel is going to deliver a Netflix akin series like that to or a series like that akin to the Netflix one?
Do I think Disney will? No. Do I think they should? Yes. But I will say I was kind of shooked in Echo when Homeboy got shot. I mean,
oh yeah, that part too.
That part was like, I was kind of shocked that they showed that. I was like, and then again, okay, and then one more time.
Yeah, that
okay,
part.
here making sure we know he's dead. That's okay. So possibly, and I feel like I would have to see what Daredevil's on. I need to see if they can execute that nitty gritty well.
Well, Charlie Cox already said it's going to be darker, which is fine. I don't have to have the gore like that.
Yeah.
But he says it's gonna be darker, not.
But I feel like with Punisher, that is like, you can't get Punisher without dark and gore. So, I don't know.
I agree.
Am I putting all the eggs in that basket? Absolutely not. But I'll put an egg in there.
Yeah, I don't know if. I don't know. We'll see. Well, we'll see. But when he said that the other day, I was like, okay, it's kind of like when Ryan Reynolds said his whole deal, and we have to wait to see exactly what the Super Bowl is when. What, February 17th?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something, I don't know. Shit. Yeah, like a month from now.
Yeah, we're supposed to get the first trailer for that then, so we'll see with that first trailer. Maybe some things might get revealed somewhat in that, but yeah. We'll see what's exactly going to happen and when we're going to see him.
I can tell you, you won't see him doing what he did on Netflix in any movie with Thor, Captain America, or any of that. It won't be on the big screen. I can tell y'all that right now. So y'all gonna have to watch one of them shitty ass Spotlight, dookie booty ass fucking TV shows.
Yep.
And even if it is, unless it's in some shit like they really start making all this underground shit, I'm telling you, I don't care. Because if you think Fisk is going to be like he was in Echo in a Spider-Man movie, you're wrong. They're not going to let little kids go to a Spider-Man movie and watch Wilson Fisk, Kingpin do that on the big screen to anyone. And so I don't know. I saw Hungry say there's always a chance that John is lying. Money talks. That's another aspect.
That's another aspect.
I mean, shit, you throw money at that nigga to go be the Punisher in this. I mean, it depends, yeah, like you said. So I agree with that aspect as well.
Here's another example with that money aspect. For the Star Wars fans, John Boyega said, I'm not going back to Star Wars. Where the fuck is John Boyega?
Back with Star Wars.
Star Wars Episode 11. I'm shocked as fuck. I was shocked as fuck with that one.
And so it's like, we're getting Daredevil. Do we know what Daredevil's rated yet, or no? I mean, we know it's going to be dark, but is it going to be TVMA?
Is it TV? I don't know.
I mean, I low key.
Can you see that, Corey? If it's going to be TVMA?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know. PG-13, I think you're able to show a lot. I just think they don't do it. But I don't think they go TVMA just because I think a lot of people are actually going to watch Daredevil. And so I think it'll be a little less than what it is on Netflix. But that, getting to him, there's two routes it's going to go. It's either he's going to be less of what he is on Netflix and he is going to be in some of the bigger things, or he's going to get to be what he was on Netflix, but it's going to be in something like Echo, or like, unless like they write it good enough in something of his own title. Because I'm telling you, I don't want to watch 6 episodes of a Punisher special or some shit like that. It's like they're going to have to give him a bunch of cameo, like a whole Daredevil season. Was it 3? Or was it 2 or 3 that he was in? Whichever one. That nigga was essentially a main character. Like that was both of their season and everything. And so it's going to have to be something where he's cameoing a lot like that, where he's just a main character, or he's going to have to get his own title where it's something like Daredevil, but I don't see them giving Punisher an 18, even 12, 10 episode long season or anything like that. And so I'm just, long story short, I disagree, because it's too much of a balance. I've been saying this a lot in life, but it's a delicate balance. He can say it's the same with Ryan Reynolds. Deadpool, I do think there's going to be slightly less of the jokes he cracked when he wasn't in the MCU. I think there's going to be slightly less of that verbiage and, what he's allowed to say with, I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion.
There's no, official site saying that it's TVMA, but a lot of scoopers are saying that it's supposed to be.
I hope it is, because it just gives them ability to show more.
Yeah.
But I could see if it's not.
They said that Daredevil and Echo's fight, I saw this the other day, was massively condensed. And I said, massively?
Yes.
Massively condensed? I would love to see the massive version.
According to comicbookmovie.com, the show will be under Marvel Spotlight banner.
No, so yeah.
So
the TVMA likely then.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay, I didn't know it was under the Spotlight banner.
See, the Spotlight has some potential, but it's like, shit, who's an athlete, their rookie year was bad and then they're good? Because Echo was horrible. And so it's just, it's not a good start for the Spotlight title and everything like that, because, yeah, they did good showing, we can show blood, we can show niggas dying, this and that, but
yeah,
they should have did that a long time ago with Moon Knight.
Right.
We should have been here.
Yeah. That's really where they fucked up with a lot of what should have been TVMA. Mm-hmm. Your first start to it, instead of using words like hypergraphic, it should have been Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Moon Knight.
I think the shit they tried to tell in Falcon and the Winter Soldier should have been TVMA.
Yeah.
A lot of they're missing out by not being able to showcase to adults.
Yeah, because
not saying all we want to see.
Been dope.
Yeah, not saying all we want to see is sex, money, murder, drugs, and shit.
Yeah.
But sometimes
when I'm watching a superhero like Moon Knight, I don't want to hear him beating the Jackal as the camera slowly pans around the corner. I want to see him beat the fuck out of the fucking Jackal, and then stand up and do the epic, walk into the.
I liked Moon Knight, and I didn't necessarily know about the character. After the show, I did more research, and I read I think half of a comic, but on my phone. And afterwards, I was just like, oh, okay.
No, very different.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's if you go back and you watch any of our reactions to it. Trey was the.
I was gonna say, you go watch all our shit. Those probably still our best videos. You go learn from Trey. That nigga will tell you.
Trey is a Moon Knight super fan, and he was very upset with the treatment of Moon Knight. Every episode, he was.
I'll say I don't want to stay on Moon Knight too long because that's not a topic or anything. But my biggest complaint from back then is it's like the TVMA stuff. I wish they would have showcased the DIE switches and the flash and everything from a viewer's perspective, not just the screen goes black and then boom, he's another nigga. I wish we would have got to watch him, become another personality. Or we didn't get that. All we got was the screen flashing, some loud cinema music and everything like that.
Cut back and his hands are bloody.
Or he has a gun in his hand and he's screaming
I would like to see that, please.
Yeah. So, hey, I mean.
So we shall see.
We shall see. Andre says the next TV shows are X-Men 97 and Agatha. I keep forgetting Agatha is still coming out this year.
Because we got excited about it, and then the plot leak came, and then
and then I got unexcited.
Been downhill in that since then. So and it looks like they're standing 10 toes deep on that plot. So
Yeah, you know, like I said, Raymond, for you, and I see what I saw what Official AMG said about Eternals as well. Listen, like I said, after my 16th watch, Eternals was fine. I saw what they were trying to do. I was like, hey.
I see it.
Okay. Your third act is still massive shit.
No, there's major critiques for me in that film. You know them all. So.
Yeah. Yeah, major critiques.
To the sex scene, to the third
that
act.
awkward, long-ass minute 20 sex scene. Why was it so awkward? There was no music. It was just quiet. It was awkward.
Like, I'm telling you, people may not like me for, but I genuinely don't like how we got introduced to Fasto's family and how they did that and everything. Like, 1 second we're fucking fighting and everything, the next here's his family who they're not even telling us who. Like, I swear for a second I'm thinking this is just his brother watching his kid or something. Like, oh, no. So it's just, I don't know, there's so much shit in there I wanted to touch on it earlier, where I don't think any of us, or I don't know if Corey liked it or not, but I didn't dislike. I actually was the one in here advocating for Eternals. I enjoyed it. Yeah. But it would have been much better as a 18, 22 episode TV show with the second and third season.
I've only
and a lot of this
twice.
Marvel shit would be.
I've seen it. I've honestly seen it. Not 16 times, but it's up there.
I've seen Eternals, like, I'm not gonna lie,
I've seen it a couple
does
times.
have some rewatchability.
No, I've watched it quite a few times.
I watched
maybe
it the
it's
first time, and then I was like,
love Angelina Jolie, but
I was like, maybe I'm missing something. So then I watched it again, and that's when I had a lot of questions, because I was like, how is this and that, and
like I do care about the Eternals, like, because I saw a Twitter post the other day that said it's been however long since the Eternals. Let's see if you really care. Can you name all? I can name all of them.
Yeah,
like I care about the Eternals. I just, again, that third act, bro.
That third act is bad, but to this day, I still think Makari and Druig are like.
No, I love that.
Best parts of Phase 4.
I love that.
And to this day, I'll still say Makari is probably the best speedster I've seen on
the way
screen
they handle it.
I mean,
the way
Quicksilver is cool
Quicksilver
and everything. I love Quicksilver and X-Men and everything, but Makari, the way they did that and shit, it's just something that I haven't seen from a speedster in a while after watching fucking the way DC does all the fucking speed animations and shit like that. So, I don't know. I enjoyed Eternals. It has its critiques like everything in Phase 4, but when I complain about the MCU, Shang-Chi and Eternals, they're not.
Yeah, Shang-Chi.
I was just going to say that. I was just about to bring Shang-Chi up.
They're not movies I
recognition, because I can go back and rewatch that movie and I have no problems.
But I and it goes back to what I say about not just Eternals. I think it's Marvel's third acts in general. I like Shang-Chi all the way up until we get to the part where their dad brings them back to the compound, because when they lock them in that prison, from there the film starts to go.
That I do kind of
like. I feel like the writing's just like, we're out of ideas. We're almost to the end. Let's just get it done.
I said it when it happened. I mean, I knew the best friend was going. What was it, Katie or Dave?
Yeah,
or whatever? I knew she. I think I said it to you in the theater. I was like, she's gonna be the one saving the day, because that's what they always do. You know, that's what they were doing with Miss Marvel, with Bruno or whatever. They always have the best friend saving the day or whatever. So I just knew it was gonna be some stupid little outcome like that or whatever. I mean, if you like you always say, if you liked it, it's for you. It's for you. But I didn't like that.
I was about to say, I get it because we got lucky with RDJ, and then we had Luis with. And I think like that type of bit is great. I just felt like it just got to the point, like you said, it's too much. Like, they're not the hero at the end of the day. Like,
yeah, but that one was a little unrealistic. You know, you're shooting this bow and arrow.
That was awful.
Yeah, that was like really bad.
Big ass dragon.
Like and they hadn't even been in Talo like 45 minutes, unless time moves differently in Talo.
That was so unreal.
Yeah, she because when they got there, she didn't know what.
And everyone was training. She wasn't training. Like when they got there, people were training. She was like talking with him and everything, going over shit. And then no.
Yeah, no. Like I said, like for me. Highlights of Shang-Chi are all the way up into the compound, because the whole movie up to the compound for me is just great. Like the beginning, when she's telling the story, and then when he fighting. God, bro, that is so good. That's so good. Shang-Chi was a great film. The bus, the fight with his sister, the fight with everybody all of his dad's
shit. Even
people.
Yeah.
What's his face in that big nigga that be with Wong?
Oh yeah.
with
Blonsky.
Yeah, with Blonsky. Forgot. See, they didn't disrespect the bro so much. I forgot his name already.
And the thing is, in Shang-Chi, his voice, because when Wong said a meal, he made and said let's go back. He didn't say anything, but his grunt wasn't
he had
that
like an aggressive, animalistic ass grunt.
Yeah, it wasn't that. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's stupid shit.
I didn't enjoy that.
No, I didn't enjoy it either. But we'll move to jump to some of those comments, and we'll move just like fine to 3 or 4 good ones there, and we'll move to the next thing.
Raymond said, I wanted Eternals too desperately. They need to ignore the Twitter jerks. Makari is my favorite speedster. Her relationship with Druig was dope. And Fastos was just amazing. I root for black people. No, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
love
was great.
I mean, what they were able to do in a movie about separating the different characters and everything, it was cool, but just so many characters, so many elements, you would definitely... That shit could still... That could have been one of your best TV shows, to be honest. There's so much content there.
Yeah.
So many Eternals not on screen.
Yeah.
But
then I guess you have to think about how massive of a budget that would be too for a TV show to have the Celestials.
Nigga, they have it.
They do. They
Fuck
do, but
that.
that's a massive budget.
Chill said, look at Ironheart. How important is it if the series can be pushed back 2 years? And then he said, WandaVision built to a movie. There was direction and intent for those early series.
I forgot about Ironheart. That is still a thing.
And that's a good question,
completely
too.
forgot.
How important is it if you can just keep pushing it back? No connectivity.
Cancel it. Cancel
Go
it.
ahead and
Cancel the show.
And invest that show into something else. Or
Cancel that, because that is going to be another massive waste of time. Like
And if
Echo.
you think niggas like Black Panther enough to be
No.
like, oh yeah, let me watch Ironheart, the TV show, personally by herself, nothing. No.
Nothing against.
I promise you can put
Dominic.
Riri and Dominic. Yeah, I promise you
nothing
can
against
put her
her,
in another
but I
film,
could
or I
give a
promise you
shit.
can throw her in Armor Wars or in whatever you want. I promise she does not need a standalone TV show. At least, maybe
No.
not ever, for sure at this moment.
No, she does
And I can
not.
see, maybe that's why they keep pushing it back. Maybe they know. Maybe they know. We don't need to drop this shit.
No, they know, just like they knew at Echo. That's right. Then on Arrival,
You see any you want to read? I scrolled up a little
No,
bit.
I haven't really
I'm not
seen
at the
anything.
bottom. There's pretty good.
Hunger Almighty said, I don't know if it's just me, but did Shang-Chi feel like the Asian version of the Black Panther, like Disney tried so hard to capitalize on the cultural impact of it like they did for Black Panther? Well, I will say, because I was watching another YouTuber the other day talk about just MCU stuff and talking about where is Shang-Chi? Well, we don't know. We haven't seen Shang-Chi since.
Exactly.
There hasn't been anything, and that is one of the questions. Like, where the fuck are some of these things that are
Or
going on?
even like mentions of the mentions of stuff.
Nothing.
10 rings,
Yeah.
the bangles, the shit, fucking hand sticking. Just mentions of some. If you're not gonna give us at least like cameos and stuff like that, we don't even get mentions of shit.
Right.
Exactly.
Ray said Wonder Main is dead on arrival. It is. Didn't even know the show was still happening, but it is. You see the little silhouette that they gave for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see only because I'm fucking on the
I will
channel's
tell
Twitter,
you,
though.
he's gonna look jacked as fuck probably in his Wonder Man. I'm just wondering if this is gonna, to be honest, I don't care about the Wonder. I don't even know what the Wonder Man series is gonna be about.
That yeah. Sure.
What is it about? Just like the Vision Quest would have been great in 2021, 2022.
Yeah, I was like in 2020.
when we actually were curious as to where Vision is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't give a fuck what Vision's been doing since WandaVision.
All right.
Too much has happened since that time. what are you gonna tell me in Vision Quest? Like Vision Quest is now going to backtrack, or like
how's that
don't
gonna
care.
work?
From what we know about it,
They're
his little
starting to do that too much.
did the backtrack shit. Yeah. For what we do know, his little the Android family is supposed to be in it. Like his daughter.
Yeah.
I forget the names. Biz
Biz.
and all them and whatever the fuck. Whoever the fuck they are. They're supposed to be in it.
So anyway.
I could care less about that.
I know, I'm over here like, so anyway.
I really could. Like, I'm just like, okay. So, yeah. But let's talk good things, MCU. And this is sad when we talk good things, MCU. It's always past, or it's always talking about, actors that are no longer a part of the MCU anymore. And that is Robert Downey Jr. coming out the other day and saying that he believes that some of his best acting comes from what he did as Iron Man, but he didn't get the proper recognition because it fell under that, Marvel superhero, it's not real cinema umbrella. But I would have to agree.
Oh, I definitely have to agree.
I've always said this, and I've always defended the MCU when it comes to those early days of people trying to say the Marvel was not real cinema. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. delivered some amazing lines, some lines that were not, scripted. Like the whole scene with him in Endgame arguing with Cap, that's not scripted.
Yeah.
That is
Shit, the end of Civil War still.
Yes, dope. That whole thing. Like I love
Marvel. I think that's one of my favorite movie scenes. Just in
I
general.
love that scene. Which one are we talking? Are we talking about when he's fighting Cap?
All of it.
Oh, all of it. Okay, all of it. Yeah.
The entire scene is just.
Yeah. It's brilliant. The whole when I love that scene when he's fighting Cap at the end of that long scene. And, Cap is really beating his ass, and he says, analyzes fight patterns, and he's like, let's kick his ass. Like that, like, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, that, and then the whole, did you know?
That's what I was about to say.
That's that line I just quoted. Like, he was my friend. Yeah.
Like,
but did you know?
And then he looks it out at me, he's like, well, he's like, did you know?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
But I was about to say, even honestly, shit, that whole, the plot of that argument and relationship and why they were arguing over that whole movie and shit.
Brilliant.
Some of his best acting.
Some of his best
acting. I recognize it. I'll definitely say, because I'll see niggas arguing that Civil War isn't, it wasn't what it was comic-wise.
No, but it's still a good MCU film.
People hate on it sometimes and shit like that, but his acting in that was definitely
superb.
A+. Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, I mean, RDJ...
Nothing less than a 95 of 100.
Yeah, RDJ, I think it definitely is what sealed the cap for me as far as, being a Marvel fan. That's what got me into the comics, the movies, keeping up with it, his performance alone. I think I always was kind of meant to be one just because my dad would read some of the comics to me as bedtime stories. Why? But that's just okay. But yeah, no, that first movie, I remember going to the theater with my dad. I remember standing in it's a core memory. That whole experience alone, I will never forget, and his performance alone, I will never forget. And till this day, I can watch those movies and still get just goosebumps.
Yeah. For me personally, like I said, I always say this scene, but there's many scenes that RDJ, it's just the line delivery on a lot of the scenes. It's not even so much the scene itself, it's just sometimes it's just the way he delivers something, the way he says it. Like I said, but my favorite is the argument in Endgame with Cap. When, even the way he just delivered the line in that very serious moment when Rocket talks and he says, I thought you were a stuffed animal or whatever he said. He says, maybe I am. But,
I'm sorry, New York is closed today.
So many... He says, I'm sorry, Squidward, but New York is closed. Yeah, there's just so many
good lines.
So many good lines from RDJ.
Thought we didn't notice, but we did.
Are we, Wong, you're invited to my wedding?
Yes. Great ones.
There's so much shit where
he just steals the show. Anytime that RDJ or Iron Man is in any film, whether it be, like I said, a cameo just in Far From Home. Yeah. Or, I'm sorry, what's the first one? Homecoming.
Yeah.
great.
Fucking Edith.
Yeah.
It's like, that's fucking Tony Stark.
Yeah. Like,
Even dead, I'm the hero.
yeah. Yeah. So
much.
he's great. And truly missed in the MCU. And that it's sad that, obviously, I don't tie any character down to one actor. But I do put Tony Stark up there on the same level that I put Heath Ledger on. I obviously other people will come and do things with Iron Man that Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. didn't do with him. That, like I said,
it's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be hard. But I definitely get what you're saying. He embodies
the Tony Stark.
Yeah.
I mean, when I think he plays him the way that he is, in the comic,
yeah,
he is Tony Stark. He's
his
great.
Mannerisms, everything.
He is great. So yeah, he's truly missed, and because the MCU doesn't get looked at as real cinema, it is unfortunate that it did go unnoticed a lot of the time. Because he could have gotten, I believe, honestly, an Oscar for some of the roles that he's done in the MCU as Tony. Mm-hmm. Honestly, so yeah, definitely missed. If the rumors are true and we do see him back as not as the Tony Stark that sacrificed himself in Endgame, but as a Tony Stark from another universe, in the multiversal madness that's going on in the MCU right now, that would be phenomenal. And I really think if Marvel wants to pull off some of these, and I also know that these guys are coming back, but if Marvel wants to pull off some of this stuff with Secret Wars, Kings, or whatever the fuck Avengers 5 is, and the rumored in between Battle World movies that they're films that they're trying to do, you have to have RDJ, you have to have Chris Evans, you have to, all of them, they got to come back. They have to come back. And even with Scarlett Johansson saying she's done, she's not coming back, I don't know but you got to get everyone back. It's not just, you got to get everyone back for it. So but I really loved him. Really love him as Iron Man. But we'll touch those last comments there and then move to the last thing.
Andre said Robert Downey was definitely robbed, but he made a lot of money. I'm sure that helps. Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it does.
He was making how much per cameo?
Boy,
just a cameo.
I don't even want to say it because I know I'm gonna be not as much as he was making. Because that dude was making a lot.
He was making a lot of money. You see his house, and it's not like his house is not like mansion. It's the way he. I'll pull it up.
Jay Namakai said, I'm still upset that we'll never get to see Tony Stark in the same room as Reed, Beast, Hank Pym, Black Panther, and all the other geniuses in the Marvel Universe.
I know it.
Added to the list of missed opportunities. I feel like the title of this stream, Marvel's Missed Opportunities.
Yeah.
Ricardo said, just stopping by while at work to say what's up. What up? Glad you checking in.
Appreciate you being here.
Ricardo,
I need to get you your shit back.
SP said RDJ and Benedict had great chemistry in Infinity War. Boy,
they did.
The best.
RDJ and who?
Benedict.
Oh man,
yeah.
Those are some of the best lines.
The chemistry,
right there.
the chemistry of Iron Man wanting to know what happens next and if they're winning, and Steven hiding the future from him, and everything about that.
Like in Endgame when he said, "Hey, you said this is the one." Is this the one?
Is this it?
Yeah, like just some really dope. Some really dope shit from that just those two, that dialogue.
I'm going to save the wizard.
yeah.
Love him.
And like another, just to bring it back up, another like my favorite part of that, even like, because I kind of feel like Infinity War is Endgame, or not Endgame, or is that what, is it Endgame? My fault, we talk about so much. I count those as like one movie and shit, and so.
Yeah.
But whenever Iron Man and them went and fought the fucking Guardians and shit.
The best shit.
That shit was fucking funny.
Funny as fuck. Funny as fuck.
And he said, "Who are you?"
Love that shit.
Omega said, Am I the only one who annoyed Bucky didn't try to apologize to Tony rather than attack him? I mean, like, Cap and Bucky literally go 2-on-1 at Tony, and Bucky didn't say anything to ease him. What the fuck? I mean, in the writing, it wasn't Bucky. Like,
I was gonna say in Bucky's defense,
it wasn't him.
Yeah.
He was brainwashed.
Right.
You know, because he was fine until Zemo showed up and started saying
The code, giving him the
you
code.
know, mission report.
Right.
Yeah, so, you know, he was cool. But then once he did that shit, and I love, that's another thing. That's when Marvel was Marvel. You go back to that. Iron Man was holding his own with Bucky, not in his suit, only with, you know, the little watch he had on, but even more so, you know, all of them. You had Karen, or not Karen, is it Karen? No, who's the broker? Power broker. Sharon.
Mm-hmm. Sharon Carter.
Yeah, you had Sharon that was holding her own. Scarlett Johansson was holding her own. You had Black Panther out of the suit holding his own. Like, it was, bro, that's when Marvel was Marvel, though. She was dope.
A couple more. Hunger said, you guys think if he does come back in Secret Wars as a variant, will he play the same classic Iron Man that he always played, or a different version from the comics like Superior Iron Man?
I think it'll be a different version. They are not, I don't believe they are going to touch that moment. That moment is a moment. This is RDJ's house, so this shit is dope.
And Antoine said, come on, where's your guy? You're embarrassing me in front of the wizard.
Yeah.
No, that whole sequence and everything, just, I don't know, that shit.
You have an army?
A1.
We have a Hulk.
Yeah, A1. And then he gets his fucking mask.
Like, what are you talking about?
He said, did you seriously just say come hither, Jew?
Trying to find one of the comments that I was going to read. I can't find it.
I'm going to read this one right here. Raymond 2000 said, in my opinion, Tony shouldn't have died in Endgame. The post-credit for Endgame should have been him creating the Illuminati.
Would have been dope. Would have been dope. He's got one of those inflatable houses.
That's it, Gray. It was like, you're from Earth, and Quill was like, no, Missouri. He was like, that's Earth, dumbass. That shit is funny.
He said, Mr. Lord. He said, Star-Lord. The Star-Lord is fine.
They just said Missouri. He said, that's Earth, dumbass. So I do remember that shit vividly. I was like, this nigga. I was just like, that's such a human ass interaction. Like,
such a human
like,
ass
that's
interaction.
Earth.
He said that 50% of me, that's 100% of you. He said your math is not. Yeah, that's just funny. Oh fuck! Or when he told Thanos, I mean, not funny, but just the way. Again, another well-delivered line. You throw another moon at me, I'm gonna lose it. Like just fucking Tony. Yes, sir.
The last couple ones. Omega said, Black Panther T'Challa was so iconic when he fought Bucky. Man, you don't know. I get so hyped for T'Challa after Civil War. He's fucking badass. No, I think when we were first talking about all this shit, I said his introduction in Civil War was probably some of his best writing.
Yeah.
I genuinely, like, Black Panther was cool. Don't get me wrong. I love it.
No, he's
dope.
He's perfect in Civil War. That's the writing right there.
I was about to say,
that's the writing for T'Challa right
him
there.
Him with the motherfucking purpose hunting the nigga who killed that shit.
Yes.
Yeah, he was ready.
Yes, like even the interaction between him and Natasha outside of the building after it blew up. Was it the UN building after it blew up everything?
Yep.
That interaction, the line
delivery. 30 minutes. He said, bet.
And I love when just like
or whenever what's her face and Natasha were about to fight, and he was like, as much as I can.
Yes, as entertaining as that would be. Yeah, when she's like, move or you will be moved.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That shit's dope. Or when Clint says, we haven't met. I'm Clint. I don't care. Move, Captain.
That's what Gray just said. He's like, I don't care.
Move, Captain. I won't ask a second time. Yeah, that shit's dope.
Chill said Iron Man 4 would have made more money than the last 6 films that lost money and barely broke even. RDJ was worth the money.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, it would have.
And then Raymond said the writing for Panther and any Wakandans including Wakanda outside of BP was perfect.
Yep.
And then Josiah said, came to show love, Fanatics fan. Appreciate you stopping in, as always. And then, that's pretty much it. D. Steele said T'Challa was on point in Civil War. I feel like a lot of people think and it was...
No, he was.
Hard to mess that up. in Civil War. A
He
lot of that
was.
shit was really, I mean, it wasn't comic book accurate, but I really do feel like a lot of that shit was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. It really was.
Jay said when T'Challa told Steve, "How long do you think you can keep your friends safe from me?"
Yeah. But you know what? I don't fuck with Anthony Mackie's Falcon, but that he was even great in Civil War because his lines were.
He said they got a Spider-Man.
He had some good lines, like when he said, like when they were in the police car, and he says, "So, you just run around dressed like a cat?" And Steve said, "Sam," he's like, "What, man? Running around like a cat? You don't want to answer?" Like, that's like, I'm just like, yes, that was good. That was good.
Well, yeah, when he was running from Spider-Man and shit like that, that shit was...
Everybody's got a gimmick.
He said everybody's got a gimmick nowadays.
Top tier.
That shit was
Top
fun.
Good writing.
I'm probably going to rewatch that shit.
Good
tonight.
writing.
Civil War is... I remember when we were ranking movies and shit, Civil War is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Civil War was good.
I love
When
it.
Spider-Man shows up and he starts introducing, he said, "We don't need all that."
Yeah, we don't need all that.
He said, "Oh, sorry. Okay."
And then, shit, I'm going to read these last two. Dan said, respectfully, the only fandom that's sane right now is video game fantasy. Star Wars is toxic as fuck. Marvel don't know up from down. Transformers is an annoying roller coaster. Like, damn.
Man.
I agree.
Man.
Should you even get into the sports world, it's fucking everywhere.
I'm not even talking sports.
And then Raymond said the Russos and Marcus McFeely made
That
gold
was
in
it.
the MCU.
That was it.
Right.
I mean, I
That's
don't
all.
want to
Why
harp on
can't
Civil
we
War, but
bring
even
these-
Spider-Man's line deliveries were so Spider-Man. Just like when Bucky punched him, just to show you how he's a kid, but how fucking strong Spider-Man is. You have a metal arm? He said, "That's so cool." He's like, "Look, guys, I'd love to keep playing this. I'd love to keep going back and forth with you, but I got to."
Bro, is that
Mr. Stark told me I got to keep you guys
Did
busy.
he catch a fucking truck or whatever
In
he
the
did
in
with
that-
the semi in Civil War where they were fighting or some shit. He like stopped the semi or some shit. Or maybe it was just a car.
No, you're
That's
talking
what I-
about when Tony was showing him. He's like, "Is this you?" And then that car.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it
Caught
was.
it. Yeah.
That I was probably like,
To show
these-
you
I
how
was like,
fucking
these
strong
niggas are really
Spider-Man is.
showcasing like because I don't
Yeah.
think they've ever done
No.
that in the MCU. Like showed how actually strong
Strong
that
Spider-Man
is.
is.
Yeah.
Yes. Like.
Yeah, no, but
Civil War, like you said, like Raymond said, it was Marcus McFeely.
and
The
then Raymond
writing was
said- when
great.
Sam said, "There's usually not this much talking."
Yeah, I don't know if you know how these things work, but there's usually not so much talk.
Yeah, I wish they can figure out what they can, over at Marvel, they can figure out what to do to bring those writers and directors back. Because if we're having an honesty moment, do I think we need our main characters back? Yes. Do I think it's unnecessary at this point because of where we're at in the MCU? Yes. I think they need to focus on their writers and their directors. You know what I mean? Like, because every actor that we've had after Endgame that has been in a show or a movie, I think all had very much potential to embody those characters, but the writing just wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I don't think we necessarily need Iron Man back. I don't necessarily think we need Cap back. I think we have potential. We just don't have the behind-the-scenes work.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I agree.
Maybe so.
As much as I would love to keep reading y'all comments, they're good ones. Gotta move on.
Yeah.
We do. Last thing here that we have is Superman Legacy. So, I believe, is she the actress that plays Lois Lane, I believe? Yes. Rachel, was it Brosnan? She is going to be playing Lois Lane, and she recently came out in an interview, and let me see exactly what her quote was. She came out and said, here it is. The marvelous Brosnan had revealed in an earlier interview that Superman Legacy had a life of its own compared to the previous Superman movies, and was encouraged by conversation with co-star Cornsweet and Gunn. We've been having a lot of great conversations. David and I with James Gunn, the director, and we've been talking a lot about where this project fits into the canon of the Superman that we know. So hopefully this will be putting our own stamp on things, she said. But where did she say that he was going to be? Okay. Here we go. She said, I've really enjoyed the collaboration with James Gunn so far. Every single person involved in this production is such a perfect nerd for Superman. We've all grew up watching the movies. Some of us were reading the comics. So I feel like it's being made with so much love. That's good to hear. And I think David's Superman will have a sense of humor. Brosnan continued, the actor added, we're both excited to put our own spin on things to honor the material we love so much. Now, everything she said is fine. I don't have a problem with Kal-El having a sense of humor. I have a problem with James Gunn writing Kal-El having a sense of humor. It goes back to, and again, maybe I could be wrong, because James Gunn handles serious tones when they need to be handled well. I mean, look at Guardians 3. Look how he handled Rocket's emotionalness and everything like that, and while adding humorous tones in an emotionally serious film. Somewhat. So I get that. He could do it and everything like that. I just don't want... It's been my concern from the very beginning. I've said this from day one when it was said that he was also not just directing but writing. I just don't want Superman cracking jokes. I don't want Superman dancing and
Peter Quill.
Yeah, I don't exactly. I don't want him to be Buster or or Booster Gold. I don't want him to be that. I just have him be Kal-El. So, but her saying that everybody that around the project and collaboration, have such a love for Superman, are comic readers, da 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 da. I love the fact that this film goes into filming later this year or next year, I believe, and we know nothing about. Actually, I think it's later this year, and we don't know anything about it because it's supposed. Yeah, later this year because they're filming now. Comes out next year, and we know next to nothing about it outside of.
Good.
Yeah, that's what I like.
I wish we could.
Now, how long is that
going to last? I love
last?
getting plot leaks and scoops and this and that. I
would like to go into a theater.
Walking into a movie not knowing what the.
Right.
I haven't done that. I can't think when. I walked into Endgame knowing
what was gonna happen.
Walked into Civil War. I was gonna say walked into motherfucking. I can't think of the last time I walked into a Marvel or comic book movie not knowing what was going to happen.
It has been a while. I like the fact that we don't. It comes out next year. So I am really, 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 really excited for this movie. I want a good Superman movie. I'm really excited for the DC revamp. I'm hoping that it's good, but it all hinges on this film.
Right.
And it's not just a Superman film, what we do know. There's a lot of heavy hitter DC characters in this. So we've got whatever James is building, whatever the story, whatever this plot is, it's not going to be day one.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, even as much as you say that it's all about Superman in this film and the universe starts with Superman and everything, I'm really interested to see how James Gunn handles the dynamic of writing a character as interesting as Superman, but also including so much more into the plot and so many more interesting characters with it only being the first movie.
Yeah,
because it's a lot of hard stuff. So it's like I'm not going to come out and just critique them like that because it's a hard position to be in. Like that universe has never been shit. Like DC, I mean,
right.
you can say the Superman, whatever, Batman move, but universe wise, like what he's trying to do with DC as a universe, really has never been done and everything. And it's just like he's not starting from ground zero either.
No.
He's starting from in the grave, I'd say. Like,
yeah, I mean,
if you're a
DC fan, or if you're a DCEU fan and you watched the travesty that was the DCEU, you're getting characters in this first movie that like you're getting Shaira.
You've been waiting
hot
for
girl.
a while.
Yeah, a
To
live
really-
action hot girl. You're getting Shaira. You're getting a live action Morph. You're getting a live action Mr. Terrific. Although I don't like the casting choice for Mr. Terrific, you're still getting a live action Mr. Terrific.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't have a problem with it. It's kind of grown on me.
I still don't like it.
I don't have an issue with. Who would you rather see?
I don't.
I guess my problem is
don't
I
know.
haven't really pictured anyone better in the role, or couldn't really think of anyone better.
I don't know. I mean, has he put on muscle, or is he still skinny like he was in
I
X-Men?
haven't seen an updated image. I'd have to.
He needs to put on some weight. But I like we got Lex in it. Dude that plays I forget his name, plays Hank in X-Men. We're getting him as Lex. I mean, you're getting who is the villain? Is it Brainiac?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brainiac's the villain, and we're getting a live action Brainiac. And this is all going to be done in a 2024 era where we're getting the technology to make this shit really pop and look dope. And again, you got a director like James Gunn behind it. It was never him directing it. It was always him writing it. But again, he wrote Guardians, and I love Guardians 3. I thought it was great.
Yeah. No.
So,
I really don't have too many critiques with
No.
Guardian 3 as we look back. I'm sitting here trying to think of like what I didn't like, but
I can't.
My favorite villain from Phase 4
For
like,
sure.
Even like Marvel-wise, High Evolution, he did really well
He did
with the High
very well.
Evolutionary and everything. So,
Even the handling of Gamora.
and I was gonna say, and that's what
Switch.
another thing that kind of like helps me be a little optimistic about the DC is that he did write so many different characters and balanced them so well in that movie.
Better be careful.
I
Hell yeah.
don't
They-
really necessarily have an opinion because I've just never been a fan from the jump, but I am excited to go on this journey with James Gunn just because I like what he's given so far, and I think if the movie does well the way it's supposed to, then I think I can see myself like becoming a DCEU fan.
Yeah, no, DC's great. Like I said, I love
I've gotten into
DC.
animations. I just started, probably not the best start, but I just started Harley Quinn.
Oh, yeah, no, if you're going to start the animations DC, I'm talking jump into those like...
Someone just told me to get into Justice League.
What are we talking though? Oh, that's fine too. The original on Cartoon Network, that's great. That's always fucking fantastic.
Get on HBO Max.
Get on HBO Max,
Go
go
to
to
that's
DC.
just where
animated
I'm at.
DC.
I'm just kind of just
And
jumping
pick
around.
any of those movies.
Any of those
Like,
movies.
It really don't matter
It
what
does
order
not.
you watch them in. Like they're all different stories, like comic book story wise,
And they're
so
great.
you can go. I mean, there's sequences you can watch them in to understand characters a little better, I guess, since you're not really a fan like that. But those DC animated shit, they'll get you Googling some shit, so you'll start looking shit. That's where you start, any of them.
Yeah, it's great shit over there. But if James Gunn can capture that, and I really think that, again, we don't know shit about this film. Other than the authority, the people that we know that are going to be in it, there's a crisis in the Middle East. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. So, like I said, I'm ready for it. And what's her name? Millie Alcott. What's her name? Rhaenyra, young version of Rhaenyra, is getting looked at to play Supergirl in this film.
Okay.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
I know
So
that one.
that would be pretty dope too. She is getting looked at. I forget the other girl that's also getting looked at, but she's getting looked at to play Supergirl. So again, a lot of heavy hitters, a lot of going on. The League is obviously not established though in this film. Like the Justice League is not a thing. Superman still is trying to figure out who he is from what we do know from the little plot synopsis that we did get. So I'm excited. I still think David Cornsway was a great choice for him. If you haven't seen David anything, I had said this way back when he was first kind of rumored to be. I had first saw him in Hollywood, and I think that's the only thing I've seen him in is Hollywood. It was a Netflix series that only got unfairly only got one season. I watched it over during COVID. Great show. He does a really good job in it as well too. But I'm excited. Everybody knows I love Kal-El.
Yeah.
I love DC.
Cinema said it was Millie Alcock, Amelia Jones, and Meg Donald.
Okay, yeah. All of them are to be in it, and also, I'm also excited for the Batman movie that he's doing. What is it called? Brave and the Bold. The Brave and the Bold with Damian. That's my favorite Robin, so I'm really excited for that. As speaking of the animated shit, just watched Under the Red Hood the other day, where the Joker's beating the shit out of Jason at the beginning. He says, "No, I'm just gonna keep hitting you with this crowbar." Yeah, good movies.
And that's another thing that made Joker and even Robin's relationship so interesting. The Joker kind of knew Robin wasn't gonna kill him at that point or anything like that. At least under the authority of Batman, until Robin went off and did his own type shit. So
yeah.
Just know he was gonna sit there and beat the shit out of it. He couldn't do nothing but just take, like, that shit was so funny.
He said, "You're not as fun as the last boy wonder." He said, "And when you get a chance, tell the big guy I said, hey."
No, that shit is fucking funny. Raymond said, "I'm excited to see this is about to be. Also, can we say with confidence that Matt Reeves' Batman might be folded into the universe too?"
I don't know if we can say it with confidence, but I know it was discussed. I know at one point James Gunn wanted, okay, this is what we know. James Gunn wanted, they had pitched for Matt Reeves' Batman to be a part of that universe. They wanted that to happen, but Matt Reeves stuck his ground and said no. He still wants his Batman to be his own thing. So I still don't think Pattinson's Batman is going to come into that.
Boy, that shit has no rewatchability.
You know what? I actually watched it for the very first time the other day since the theater.
What?
You enjoyed it as much as the first time?
It's
long. Man, that's why I'd fall asleep.
That fifth act is not needed. Like, the whole flooding, like, man, that.
And then the cinematography of it too. It's just like quiet, dark.
I love the chase scene with Penguin.
Penguin.
I love the club scene with Penguin. The opening scene when he's like doing the talking is like, dun dun dun. Then he walks out and he beats the shit out of that guy. Vengeance. Dope. I like it. But then that gets to a point where you're just like, wow,
man,
wow, this is long.
Dan said, "Q is that hatred I sense on Matt Reeves of Batman." It's slight hatred. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've watched it once and I loved it while watching it. I mean, I thought it was beautiful, and to this day I still think it's one of the most comic booky films.
Hell yeah.
Comic book wise, it looked beautiful. Everything about it. I mean, I'm still looking forward to the next one and everything too. But in terms of me, I wouldn't turn it on again. To be honest, I've had the chance to. I couldn't turn it on and watch it again and be it. Like, I've seen it. I know what happens. It was good. It's kind of the same. If I'm gonna be, it's the same with Avatar. Like the blue nigga Avatar. Like, seen it, beautiful.
Can I tell you something?
Long
movie.
movie.
The secret.
You haven't seen. I mean, the latest one. I don't even know if the latest one's true. I haven't seen the latest one. I'm talking about the first one.
Oh, that first one. I haven't seen Deep Blue Water or whatever it's called. Avatar Water.
I've seen half of the first
Avatar
one,
Oceans.
and I was like,
whatever. What's it called?
The latest one?
What's it called? Yeah,
I
water
haven't seen
something.
the latest one.
I haven't seen it either. Way of Water.
Way of Water. Yeah,
Way of Water.
I have
Way
not
of
seen
Water.
the latest one. I can't lie.
I knew it was something water.
But yeah, no, it's kind of like films like that where they're good, they look good, but they're just long, and I don't feel like there's no. What do I need to rewatch it for?
Yeah.
Like, I'll rewatch shit like Civil War because it's like, all right, that's shit right. But I don't even like. I've rewatched Breaking Bad even a million times because I'm just like, there's some shit in here I had to have missed, but I don't think I missed anything in the Batman or Avatar or shit like that. Like,
it's just, I feel the same. I'm like that with Ozark or How to Get Away with Murder. Like, those are shows that I can.
Like, let me watch it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
but I don't want to see that long ass movie again, to be honest.
No.
I guess it's just YouTube. I can go watch clips that I'll remember and want to see again. Jade Namakai said, "My issue with Matt Reeves' Batman is for some reason he wants to ground Batman in reality, just like Nolan. And for me, that doesn't work because I'm sorry. Even though he's human, there's nothing realistic about him." Yeah, I always thought
I will say that
thought
too.
of making fucking the Riddler a serial killer, real world serial killer was a little weird.
I will say that too. It's just like, because, the rumor is Clayface is the next villain. And he still wants to keep up with that serial killer type deal to where this person's not going to be the Clayface we know and love from the comics. I mean, Clayface in the comics, when you talk about, it being real, Clayface is not real.
Yeah, it kind of makes you feel like how realistic is Barry Keegan's Joker gonna be if it gets to it? Like how is he trying to do that shit?
Right.
I'm telling you, they're doing the DC, what is it, 52? Is it New 52 or whichever one it is, where Joker actually puts other faces on his face? That's the Joker there. Yeah, that's what they're going for.
Netflix's SP Flash said Netflix's Daredevil is effortlessly rewatchable.
Yeah.
I agree. Especially, I can't remember if it's 2 or 3, but whatever season the Punisher's in, it's one of my favorite TV show seasons ever. Official EMG said, I love the Avatar movies. Both were my hyperfixations when released. Yeah, no, they're super good, but I don't know. Me personally, I've never been able to just, like...
I just haven't seen this.
I guess I just don't love them.
Yeah.
I enjoy them. They're good. Dad said that man just throwing water in Avatar. Grace said, Batman messing up in the third act didn't make sense. He wouldn't have made that mistake even as a rookie crime fighter.
No.
Yeah, no, there's definitely shit.
I like the scene, too, with Kingpin, with Penguin, Gordon, and Batman when they're interrogating. He's like, rat-a-tat-a. So that sounds like so you know what it sounds like to me? A bat!
Raymond said, I'm sorry I wasn't with it. I don't get the love for it, but the cinematography is nice. The aesthetic and color palette, everything is good, but the story and the script.
And who?
But everything is good, but in Batman.
Oh.
But the story and the script. Yeah, no, I mean, I get it was slow too, but I mean, I understood that part. I mean, long movie, first year. I don't know how many times we gotta introduce new niggas. I mean, we don't need a Batman introduction. We say this shit all the time for characters. God, yeah. Like, we don't need an Iron Man, Superman introduction anymore. Like, these characters, we know who they are.
Right.
Hey. Stamina said the Batman is absolutely a good movie. It was a fucking joy to watch in IMAX. That might be what it is too. You can't rewatch it in IMAX. That engine noise on the system roof. Yeah. In IMAX, that movie was. I don't even know what it looks like on a regular. I couldn't tell you what it looks like on a regular screen. But on that IMAX TV, especially down here in Oklahoma.
Did we buy our tickets there? Why did we have shitty seats?
Because we might have waited.
Our seats.
We might have got them online, but I think we waited until I don't know if who watched that with us. Cody was there.
Because he dropped his popcorn. Yeah, it was Cody. Our seats were, you know how the screen's right there, there's those side seats? We were at those side seats that were like way down here in the corner of the screen, so we were watching the movie like this.
Bro, if Cody is watching this, he probably gave me one of the funniest movie experiences ever. That nigga sat down with the largest tub of popcorn. As soon as I sat down, he took maybe 2-3 handfuls, set that shit down, and kicked it over. It's just, you know how Cody is. So the way he looked and reacted to it, he's just like, he reacted like a kid, like, oops, like, I can't do nothing about it. So I'm sitting there like,
Cody is easily
but I'm
one
knowing
of the
Cody is off edibles too, so he's sitting there high as that. That shit had me dead.
One of the funniest people I have ever met in my life.
Cody is hilarious. I miss him.
So funny.
Hungry said, to be fair with whole grounded bats complaint. At first I complained about it, but now that I know we're getting Brave and the Bold where the bats is more fantasy, I'm okay with the grounded for Reeves. Yeah,
like I said, Brave and the Bold is going to be dope. It's got to fit into that gun world.
I guess that does make it a little better. Just having the different personality and everything. I mean,
you get two different
that's
Batmans.
Hollywood for you. Should be able to have. You should be able to have
Batmans,
that. Stamina said, Avatar 1 hasn't aged particularly well. Avatar 2 is more watchable, but I still just pick little scenes here and there to rewatch. It was a cinema experience. I did multiple times there. Yeah, that's some things are just cinema experiences, too. Like, some things I don't want to watch at home. Hungry said, I just hope that rumor of Dick Grayson being in the Batman 2 is true. Grayson is one of my favorite heroes of all time.
Oh, it's true. It's true. Don't get too excited, though. It's Dick Grayson. It ain't Robin.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
It's going to be true. Promise you. He's not going to be Robin. And what is this going to be for Batman? Year what? I mean, they might time jump. I don't know. But he's not going to be Robin. He might help Batman at the end, like, might pick up something and hit the bad guy.
Yeah, I was about to
or
say,
something,
like,
but
Katie.
yeah.
He might be Katie.
But he's not going to be Robin until the Batman 3. I don't know that for a fact. It's typical Hollywood shit.
Hungry said 2025 we're getting Superman Legacy, the Batman 2, and Spider-Man 4, the big three of the superhero industry, the three most iconic in the same
That's
year.
actually very true. That'll be a good year for super hero fans. That's true.
Hungry Almighty said, he also said that DCAU New 52 DCMAU and the Young Justice universe would be the blueprints on how the DCU should look like. Yeah, no, I mean, even shit, just Young Justice blueprint.
Young Justice for sure.
That or just taking the way the characters reacted with each other and how nothing really felt like a fucking cameo. Like,
No,
this
like I
is
said,
all
you
one
could spend
universe and they all interact with each other.
a whole season away from a character, then they come back and like it's like you didn't miss a beat. But they've grown off screen. That's the thing about Young Justice, that the characters don't stay.
Yeah.
You see everybody grow.
Right.
Like I think the most growth is Connor. Look at Connor up season 1 to season 5.
Yeah, and he's coming out of fucking
Massively different character growth. Like that's crazy. Good show.
And then Grace said, I loved it. Talking about Batman. I loved it, though. Best representation of the characters in Gotham City. Yeah, that's what I will stand by and say. It was
You beat me to it, Gray.
100% comic book Arkham. It was it. Like,
Yep. Gray beat me to it. I was going to say Artemis as well. Artemis had a lot of fucking growth, too.
yeah, no.
Especially after Wally's died. Sad. When Wally died, I was like, did they really just kill Kid Flash? I was like, no. He's dead.
They did.
But they did.
Dead.
That's how the nigga always dies, too. Not him, but just the Flash.
The Flash,
That's
yeah.
how the nigga always dies.
Yeah. Sucked.
I'm trying to scroll up and find any.
I gotta see who that is. Damn.
Raymond said, if Superman hits like it should be or even exceeds that, the DCU is about to fart on Marvel. It's going to be the new big franchise for the next 10 years, possibly.
I'm telling you, I think Gunn has that goal.
I think he really does, too, especially he knows the situation that Marvel's in, too.
Oh, yeah.
He was over there when the ship was...
And that's what I'm saying. He knows,
Crashing.
like, he can really... He knows how popular his fucking comic book universe can be. He knows the world doesn't really have one right now outside of little shit here and there from Amazon. But
Right.
he knows. Like, yeah, he knows he knows everything going on.
I've not seen this dude as Batman. He looks like Nightwing. When I think Batman, I saw somebody said Jake Gyllenhaal. Maybe I could do that. I don't know. I don't know who I want to be Batman.
Dan said, if Iron Man 3 or Civil War was accurately portrayed as their trailers were, man, that shit would have hit different. That fucking Civil War trailer, that shit was lit. I remember that shit.
Yeah. Good times.
Good times.
Andre said, didn't James Gunn already say it wasn't gonna be a funny movie?
He did. But James Gunn, says a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Look at, the rumor right now that he just debunked was that Jake Gyllenhaal was Batman in the Superman, or in this universe. Not Jake Gyllenhaal. Gosling. Ryan. Yeah. But if you see another one there.
Stamina said Gunn has been on Twitter enough as to annoy people there, so there's no way he's not aware of folks' general disdain with funny in their movies. Him ignoring that would be such a yikes.
Yeah, he is on Twitter now. But we are going to wrap here, and the last thing that I'll show, since somebody talked about it.
I thought that nigga said we're about to wrap. I was like, who?
No. We're about to wrap it up.
Not me, nigga.
We're about to wrap this shit up. We're also going to. I want to do this at some point. Maybe tomorrow's stream weekend. Just reminisce good times in Marvel. Watch some of these old trailers and things.
I did see a comment that nobody brought up, and I think it was Raymond or someone said we should watch Black Panther in February. Just rewatch it, celebrate Black History Month, and
do that too.
That brings up my idea.
That'd be fun.
For February Black History Month, I think we should watch a lot of shit, including the Boondocks. Get some reactions out, because we don't have any fucking comic book shit coming out, so we can get some Boondocks reactions out, some
Boondocks.
Black Panther rewatch, just some black content out for Black History Month.
Yeah, we can do that for sure. We'll do that for sure. We can do that. But we'll reminisce really quickly here before we get out, and then tomorrow we'll, I'll also, for those that don't know, I didn't know if you wanted me to say it, Chill, so I guess you said it there, so I'll go ahead and reiterate it. Tomorrow, after we leave here, I'll be jumping into Chill's stream, a Black Panther stream that he's doing. I think this is going to be Chill. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are we doing this? Is this weekly? I don't know how we're doing this, but I'm sure he'll explain more about it tomorrow in tomorrow's stream. But quite a few. I think there's going to be a few BP recaster content creators there. So be looking for that tomorrow on Chill's channel. I will be there. Also, like I said, but tomorrow before, I don't think there's going to be any like news or anything like that. If there is, cool, we might talk about it. If it's negative news, probably not, because we might just reminisce talk about, and just not talk, but watch some of these old trailers, because some of those old trailers were good. Some of them sucked. I'll tell you one I did not like. I saw it the other day. And the reason I saw it the other day, because it comes on after you watch, I forget whatever movie it is. Whatever movie, or not Civil War, the Avengers trailer shows up at the end of the movie. I don't remember what film it is, but that Avengers 1 trailer, that was when I don't know, that music was ass. Like that, the trailer sucked. Maybe was it good then? Maybe I don't know.
Good then.
We were so
high
times changed. But we just didn't know.
But we'll watch this trailer and then we'll get out.
This job, we try to save as many people as we can.
Grace said it was Cap Lord.
Sometimes that doesn't mean everybody,
After Cap that plays after.
but you don't give up.
That's right.
I literally got goosebumps.
New York, Washington, D.C., Sokovia.
Okay, that's enough.
Captain, people are afraid.
So good, bro.
That's why I'm here. We need to be put in check. Whatever form that takes, I'm game. I'm sorry, Tony. If I see a situation pointed south, I can't ignore it. Sometimes I wish I could. Sometimes I want to punch you in your perfect teeth. I know we're not perfect. But the safest hands are still our own. I was wrong about you. The whole world was wrong about you. They're coming for you.
I'm not the one that needs to watch their back.
This doesn't have to end in a fight, Tony.
You just started a war. Stay down. Final warning.
I could do this all day.
All right, I've run out of patience. On to ruse!
You know, this got niggas.
That was the reveal.
Spider-Man.
That was the reveal right there, bro.
So you know that got niggas lit.
That was the reveal.
That got us high.
That was that second trailer.
That shit.
It's a dope
I
trailer.
think Captain America really do got the
I'm
best
telling you,
trilogy.
bruh. Like Chris Evans' Cap too. Like that's not to be left out, but that's just dope. I was trying to find that. I was looking for that quote that he says in there. It's like because Ross asked him, Stark, did you get any? He said, nope. You told me to go to hell. I'm gonna go something instead. But that's it's a great fucking movie. Great movie. When Marvel was Marvel.
No, I might have to watch Winter Soldier and Civil War tonight.
Winter Soldier is literally one of my best Captain films.
Oh, it's the best to me.
Like,
Winter Soldier is fucking amazing.
And my favorite version of Natasha, Black Widow.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Winter Soldier is an amazing film.
That one's good.
But like I said, we'll reminisce some more and watch some of these other old trailers and kind of run through memory lane. But we do appreciate everybody hanging out with us this evening. We will, like I said, be back tomorrow, and I'll also be on Chill's channel tomorrow as well. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscription button. If you haven't hit the like button on this video, please go ahead and do that as well. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. As always, we appreciate you guys so very much. We will see you all in the next video.
Bye,
Peace
guys.
out.
Thank you.